I'm Shivangi Mukherjee. Welcome back to my channel if you're old here. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about 5 things that you need to know before beginning your fitness journey. I have always been an active child. I was either swimming or dancing or any other extracurricular activities which needed me to move my body. I showed an interest there. I actively began lifting weights since 2018 of November, and it has been 5+ years roughly that I have been actively pursuing fitness with an intention to pursue a fit or a healthier lifestyle. So let's get started. The first thing that I would like to talk about is that showing up counts. Showing up is half the battle won. I remember when I was in my graduation year of college and I had decided to actively pursue fitness by lifting weights, I would struggle with showing up, and in order to work with that, in order to work with that challenge, I had begun scheduling a particular time slot in my day every day where I would show up no matter what happened, because balancing student life, studying, having healthier meals, preparing those meals, and working out would get challenging for me. So what would help me at least show up every day at the gym was if I knew that this time from this time in the day would be my gym time. The second point that I would like to talk about is to be patient. Is to be patient with yourself and to be patient with your journey. Good things take time to happen, and it took me a long time to realize that. I had been 5 months into my fitness journey and I got really impatient in between because I could see no progress. I could see no progress in the weight department, and I started wondering to myself, why I even embarked on this weightlifting journey if it's not going to give me any results. But I stopped thinking that way for a while because I enjoyed the feeling of lifting weights. I enjoyed the way it made me feel afterwards. I enjoyed how I felt during the process. And so I focused on lifting more gradually every day. And that was my goal, progressive overload. So I began focusing on lifting more every day and giving myself the right nutrition required for it. And then when I stopped thinking about the aesthetic results, that is weight gain, weight loss, anything to do with weight, is when I started seeing the results. And I did not think that was going to happen with me, given that I was always a certain way, built a certain way for half my life. And I didn't think I was going to see any changes there. But I did begin to start seeing changes. And my point in sharing this anecdote with you is so that you can realize that fitness is not an aesthetic. It is also not a flex. I do realize that it is, important in our head for our confidence to, look a certain way, to feel a certain way. But when we keep our focus primarily on the aesthetic bit of fitness, we forget that fitness is actually a way of honoring our body and respecting it for what it does every day. And fitness is a privilege to a lot of people, let's say, who want to perform sports activities that they cannot perform because they are not physically equipped to. So I think as a beginner, if I had just told myself the only measure of fitness is if you show up every day, I think I would have gone a little easy on me. I would have not been fixated on the aesthetic bit of fitness and just enjoyed the time I had there more, instead of obsessing on why, I'm not seeing tangible results. Because tangible results take time to happen. The workings of the body are very intricate. We cannot always see what's going on in our body. And maybe something is happening in your body to get you closer to your goal, but you may not be able to notice it in the beginning stages. So it is important that the only measure of fitness that you set for yourself at the beginning is if you show up every day and if you're consistent. I think that's an easy goal to keep pace with. Point number 3 to keep in mind is to focus on you. You began your fitness journey for you, and you are here for you. And sometimes when we see someone doing better than us, which is increasingly common in this day and age of social media, where we are constantly wired to compare ourselves, it is easy to lose track of where we are. So it's important that we focus on us. Another more selfish reason to do that is because if you have made a promise to yourself to focus on your fitness journey, you do not want to be sharing your headspace with somebody else and constantly thinking why they look better, why they are doing better, how they're performing better. Obsessing over someone and dedicating that headspace to them is a waste of your time because you are not focusing on yourself. No two bodies look the same. Even if someone else was having the same food and the same workout routine as you, they would still look different than you. So really focusing on somebody else and wondering why they are where they are or why they're lifting, how much they're lifting is pointless. When you begin comparing yourself with somebody else, this thought might help you. Someone somewhere is always doing better than us. There's room for person A and there's room for person B. And A and B can coexist together. There's room for different and there's room for more. Believing that there's only room for one kind of person is coming from a place of scarcity mindset, is believing that there is no room for abundance, but there really is. And it's important that you gradually begin seeing that. Point number 4 is to not get addicted to fitness. Moderation is key, and this applies to anything in life, including fitness. Being drawn to fitness is good, and weaving it seamlessly into one's lifestyle is good. But the moment we struggle with taking rest days, or we struggle with taking off days because we feel like we might lose everything that we have worked for, means that you've begun to become or are addicted to fitness. Stepping away and taking rest days should not really cause you a sense of panic, should not cause you a sense of discomfort. Because rest days are important and you do not need to earn rest. This is something that I personally struggle with. If I take, let's say, a week-long break after having worked at the gym for a really long time, I do struggle and I do feel like I am about to lose all the work that I've done in terms of diet and in terms of workout. But that is not true. I'll tell you how. And I'll tell you this neat little trick that you can use to get yourself to stop panicking in case you feel like you are going to lose everything or you're going to lose your entire routine, fitness routine. So something that I do is I ask myself if the number of days that I've showed up is more than the number of days that I have not. And if that math works out, then I pretty much am all right in terms of stepping back and taking rest without having the need to panic and feel like I'm going to lose it all. Point number 5, and the last point for the day, is to reach out to fitness from a place of nurture and love. This is something that I see a lot of people getting wrong, because I see a lot of people reaching out to or fueling their fitness mania from a point of rage. If you began your fitness journey to prove a point to others, which I'm also guilty of, it's fine. But it's important to see if you've still stayed with that narrative after a good amount of time has passed. I'll tell you why. Because when you stay with your fitness journey with the intention of proving a point to someone else, you're really making it about them. Is this going to be your narrative or is this going to be someone else's narrative? Are you a part of someone else's story or is this your story? And that applies to fitness too. I've seen so many fitness coaches and even quotes plastered on the gym wall saying that, work harder because you've got to prove a point to your enemies or those who laughed at you. But really, if there are people laughing at me about how I look, I have nothing to prove to them because they're not a part of my life. So really all the work that I have here has got to do with myself. And if I'm reaching out to fitness from a point of love and I'm body hating myself and I'm body shaming myself because of the way I looked earlier, it's not a healthy way or not a sustainable way to remain on your fitness journey. And it's important because our internal dialogue matters. And what you say to yourself, how you speak to yourself matters. It's something that you're not going to get it right on the first try. I still don't have it right. And it's perfectly fine. Sometimes you slip up, sometimes you step forward. 1 step forward, 2 steps back is still progress. With that, we come to the end of today's video. I hope you liked what you see and I hope you do take back something from this video. A little homework that I would like to leave you with is to sit and find your why. Find out why you want to begin fitness. Is it because you want to look a certain way? Is it because you want to feel a certain way? Is it because you want to prove a point to others? And all reasons are valid. I'm no one to judge you here. You shouldn't be judging yourself either. It's just sit with yourself and introspect. Maybe drop your reasons down here in the comments if you feel comfortable enough to share it. I will see you in my next video. Bye bye and take care.